Welcome into Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and on today's show, we're talking about how ESPN explored roster needs for all 32 NFL teams. They think the Cardinals' top needs are offensive line, quarterback, and safety, and then they named a non-round one draft target for the Cardinals to bring in. So we're going to look at him and everything that the Cardinals should be doing in this draft, their plan revealed through ESPN's article. What I think the Cardinals' top needs are, I agree, offensive line and quarterback are their biggest needs, holes on the roster right now. But I would add edge to that list too. And then I threw linebacker in there as well. I think you could use another strong side linebacker. And I'm a big believer in adding in the secondary. So if it is safety after losing Jalen Thompson or getting another depth piece corner or even just solid cornerback one as well, I'm a big believer in adding in the secondary and shutting down with pass defense. So this is my list of the Cardinals' needs, and I want your opinion in the comment section. What is the Cardinals' biggest need entering the draft? If you had to pick one area that they need most, what do you think their biggest issue is, their biggest need? Let me know in the comment section. Comment that down below. Prove you know ball. So the first thing that the ESPN article had for us is that offensive line, quarterback, and safety. The Cardinals didn't address their most important need during free agency, right tackle. Now, that's left for them to take care of during the draft, which could happen as soon as pick number 3. It's true, folks. The Cardinals might take a right tackle 3rd overall in the NFL draft. So there's only a couple names that could be. If this is what ESPN is saying the plan could be, well, that's either Francis Mauigoa or Spencer Fano. Okay, those are the 2 top tackles in the draft, and they're both specifically right tackle. So which one will Arizona lean towards? Well, their numbers, when you compare them side by side here, I like Mauigoa better. Really good pass blocker and run blocker. He's a true mauler, I think. Very strong offensive tackle. Could play guard, too. Fano really could as well. They're both huge. But those are the numbers side by side here. And what I would say is that Mauigoa is a safer option in the sense that he has what's called a higher floor. Like, I think he's a safe pick. Fano, though, is more athletic, maybe a little more upside. Just what he could be at his best would be really good. But I think the Cardinals just need a guy that's going to be good. And that, to me, is Francis Mauigoa, the Miami right tackle. And so I want you to be the GM in the comment section. Is this too high? Or do you think the Cardinals should draft an offensive tackle at pick 3? Type Y for yes if you think so. Type N for no if you're like, that's too high. We shouldn't be drafting an OT that high. Let me know in the comment section what you think and which one you like better if you want to elaborate. The next part of this draft plan from ESPN reads as follows. After releasing Kyler Murray and signing Gardner Minshew, drafting a quarterback seems likely. This year's quarterback class isn't nearly as deep as next year's is expected to be, so they could trade back into round 1 for 1. Lastly, with Jalen Thompson leaving in free agency and Budda Baker turning 30, Arizona also needs to start planning for the future in its deep secondary alongside Adrian Taylor Demerson. So that first part's really interesting to me. Drafting a quarterback likely for Arizona? Let's talk about it. First of all, there's been way too many Ty Simpson rumors surrounding the Arizona Cardinals that they're going to trade up into the first round, out of the second, to draft Ty Simpson. Who are the quarterback options for Arizona throughout the draft, though? Here's the top 5. Mendoza, obviously untouchable here. I don't think the Raiders budge on that number 1 pick. And if they did, it's a major haul. You're going to have to pay to get it. Ty Simpson is the consensus number 2. Garrett Nussmeier's 3 for me. And Aller is close around that level 2. Carson Beck comes in at number 5. I'm not a huge fan of Carson Beck's game, though. I think he's very, very game manager style quarterback. And Miami's team around him was loaded last year in college football. I'm a little bit more intrigued by the middle options there. I'll tell you what, though. I don't want Ty Simpson in the first round. I don't understand why the buzz is that Ty Simpson's going to be a first-round pick now. Who would take him in the first round? That's a big investment. With one of the best quarterback classes in a while looming in 2027, why is it known that Ty Simpson's going in the first? I don't think he's that amazing of a prospect. I would rather the Cardinals, instead of trading up to get Ty Simpson, I would rather they take Garrett Nussmeier in the 3rd or Drew Aller even later in the draft, like the 4th, like the 5th. That makes more sense to me. You take a flyer, something that's buy low, could be great, not much risk. Ty Simpson's high risk, high reward, maybe. But to me, it's unlikely that that he has that high of a ceiling. A guy like Aller, who's 6'5" with a rocket arm, got traits. With the right development, he could be really good. Okay, and if it's not, I mean, it's a 5th-round pick. Who cares? Nussmeier had first-round talent at one point. With this slide, I think that's a good pick for the Cardinals. Not Ty Simpson, though. Heck, I would even put to Taylon Green, the Arkansas quarterback, who's an athletic beast, who will go much later in this draft. But my gosh, look at his RAS score, okay? This tracks athleticism. It's an athleticism score for players at their position the last few decades. Out of 10, Taylon Green's is 9.99. His 40-yard dash, it's a 4.38. The dude had a 43.5-inch vertical. It's higher than Saquon Barkley's. I mean, that's a guy you could have some fun with as an offensive-minded coach like Mike Lefleur. And so I would say do not invest a first-round pick, second-round pick, high second for the Cardinals on a quarterback in this class. If it's not Mendoza, it's not worth it. And it's not Mendoza because he's going first overall. So don't take the Ty Simpson. Don't fall for it, folks. Either you get lucky and hit on a Drew Aller, a Nussmeier, a Cole Payton, I don't know, whoever you like, Sawyer Robertson, get lucky that a late pick is good, or you wait for the good players, the good class, which is in 2027, and you use your high picks in this draft to load up, build that dang roster up, fix the holes. And that's the offensive line and some pieces on defense, folks. So you let me know, because I want to know from you guys, do you think the Cardinals should draft a quarterback at all? Type D for draft, type P for pass. Get a letter in that comment section to let me know what you think the Cardinals should do and what direction they should go with. And now, as promised, let me tell you the outside of round one target that ESPN listed for Arizona. And this one comes from Jordan Reed. Jude Bowery, offensive tackle out of Boston College, is 6'5", 314. He's a good developmental player who routinely flashes reps that generate excitement. He primarily lined up at left tackle for Boston College, but he could fit Arizona's long-term plan at right tackle. I feel like they could have come up with a better name. Jude Bowery. I mean, overall PFF grades, nothing that stands out to me. You know, some of these ESPN guys, I really do think that they can be idiots, quite frankly. But I will say that Bowery didn't allow a sack last year. And to Reed's point, he had some flashes on tape, developmental. Those are words that, like, I don't need. If I'm Arizona, I need guys that are going to be good. I need safe picks. Okay, they have not shown that they're good at developing talent. No. And so what I think they should do is just take good players, folks. I'd also rather a natural right tackle. Bowery was a left tackle his whole time in Boston College. You can get plenty of pure right tackles who excelled at that in college football. You could get a lot of good ones early, too. We don't need to wait on the right tackle. That's your biggest need. That's your biggest problem. Take it. You got a high first, you got a high second. One of those can easily be a blue chip right tackle for years on a rookie deal. And there's some really good ones in this draft, folks. There really are. We don't need to be looking at sleepers who were left tackles to move to right tackle when you've got some stud RTs right in front of you, sitting right there in front of your face for Monti Ossenfort. Not just Mauino and Fano, who we talked about already, but I like the ASU right tackle, Maxi Honachor, Blake Miller from out of Clemson as well. He's already getting mocked to be a first-rounder all of a sudden. Those are two really good players who played right tackle all last year. Jennings Dunker, guy I like as well. Not just because of the mullet, because he's an absolute mauler, a stud, good in pass pro and run blocking as a right tackle. That's the type of guy that Arizona needs. All five of those guys. Take your pick early. Okay, that's your big need. Take the best one. And I'd get one of them early if I could, if I'm Arizona, which you can. You could probably even trade down and get Maui Noah from pick 3. So do that. Get the cornerstone right tackle that this franchise needs. Fastest way you get back on track in this league is the O-line. And if Arizona can beef up that right side of the offensive line, get a guard too. We're not going to ignore that later. That's what I would give you a sleeper guard like Keelan Rutledge, who I really like, to get later. But the right tackle, take that right away. That's how teams in this league succeed. That's how any quarterback is going to succeed in Arizona. Heck, maybe Brissett could look okay if he had all day to throw. Anybody could who's been experienced and decent in the league. Minshew as well. So figure that out. That's their plan. At least it should be. You know, the Cardinals like to throw surprises at us. But I'll keep you posted on everything that they do, folks. That's why you hit that subscribe button. I've been your host, Joey O'Donohue. Thank you so much for tuning in to Cardinals Today by Chat Sports. I'll have more Cardinals videos for you all next week. See you soon.